How to tick-proof your yard. This is part of a common sense Lyme disease series. I'm Dr. Cameron. I discuss questions that come up and cases that I've seen in my practice. So let's begin. There are several simple steps that can help prevent tick bites and Lyme disease. Now, that still means you can still get Lyme disease, but this is a preventive strategy that might reduce your risk. You should keep grass short because the sun can dry out the grass, but it's difficult for a tick to survive in a dry, sun-soaked yard. Now, of course, ticks there still exist, and so there's still some risk even in shorter grass. Also, it's important to trim overgrowth along fences and paths, and kind of reduce areas where ticks are shaded and protected. It's important to clear leaf litter. That means raking leaves, twigs, and debris, cleaning wooded areas, removing wood piles. Removing wood piles, or at least moving them away from the house, reduces areas where mice can hide from the birds, where other animals can stay, and it's a common area that ticks can congregate. Somehow dogs can seem to find these areas, so they seem to be able to find where the ticks are more likely to be. Now, if you're going to be trying to clear the yard, be careful because you yourself can get a tick. And certainly I've had people where they have good intentions, but they themselves get sick. Creating a barrier has been seen as important. Like if you have a 3-foot gravel or mulch strip near the woods, whether that is as effective as you'd like, I'm not so clear cut. There's also dry pathways along patios, areas where grass isn't growing, where people can step on, might be helpful. Also, ticks don't like dry, hot surfaces. There are some plants that are thought to repel ticks, like lavender, sage, and rosemary, marigolds, chrysanthemum, and by putting those along walkways and seated areas, that might help. Now, there's not much research in the area, so it's going under some assumptions here. You could fence out wildlife. It's talked about frequently. People put in deer fence of 6 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot. The challenge, though, even though it's you can remove some deer from moving, is that mice cross, birds can cross, and so these micro ecosystems out there aren't as effective as you might like. I always advise patients to remove bird feeders because rodents tend to like to hang around where the food is. Also, birds themselves have their own ticks, and so it's important to be careful of the bird feeders. Also, if you're there feeding the birds, you're exposed to areas where there's a lot of rodents on the ground, where you might pick up a tick. And I usually like to keep crawl spaces sealed because sometimes animals can live in there, and as they go in and out, they can bring ticks into close proximity to you. And then there's natural protection control, diatomaceous earth, cedar, neem oil sprays, and then there's a discussion of nematodes in the spring and the summer. How effective is hard to tell. So you should use sunny spots wisely. Like you might find that decks, fire pits, and play sets in the sun may be difficult because it's hot, but on the other hand, there's less likelihood that the children will pick up ticks or you will pick up ticks when you're in the yard. Avoid tall grass in shaded areas. Bottom line is short grass, clean brush, mulch the barriers, repellent plants, wildlife control, natural settings, and sunny seating. So as you sit here and prepare for the holiday seasons, the family get-togethers, you might prepare the yard, but be careful yourself to be avoiding a tick. So thank you for joining me as part of this Common Sense Lyme Disease series. Have a good day.